because he said most of his
Everything's going for you.
I have a job today.
They just sold their house. I didn't know they had it on the market, but evidently it's been on the market a while. They just sold it a couple of weeks ago. So he's now got the resources to make the move. That's right. And hurricanes, 2 or 3 times a year. Yeah, so we'll have three openings.
One day when I'm working out at the Conway office, we'll go
Well, he does get called Jesse all the time. Yes, I guess we do, some. I've never seen it.
But you actually are a lot better.
I'm better behaved than you all.
ready.
Yeah.
I think we'll just go ahead and get going.
Yeah.
Hey, look at you. Man, that's
Well,
oh, but still, gotta start somewhere. Yeah, 2 on this side, 2 on that side, 2 in the middle.
I think we got a quorum. All right.
Perfectly balanced.
That's true. All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. The Conway Planning Commission makes recommendations to the City Council on public hearing items. The City Council will make a final decision on these items using the Planning Commission's recommendations as a guide. Items not approved by the Planning Commission may be appealed to the City Council within 30 days after Planning Commission denial. If an item is appealed to the City Council, a public notice sign will be placed on the property at least 7 days prior to the City Council meeting. A public notice will also be placed on the city's website, www.cityofconway.org. Items reviewed at tonight's Planning Commission meeting may be considered by the City Council as early as October 13th, 2015. This time, I would like the commissioners to introduce themselves, starting at my right, please.
Matthew Brown.
Marilyn Armstrong.
Mark Lewis.
Lee Washington.
Wendy Shire.
Justin Brown.
Thank you. All right, at this time, would you please review the minutes and see if there are any changes?
Weren't you here last time?
Make a motion to accept the minutes or approve the minutes.
Motion to approve,
Second.
second by Marilyn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
People present. I was noticed.
So we have 6, so I need to vote on that one, so aye.
Well, she didn't indicate that you were absent.
Okay. We did have a subdivision meeting today, so I will ask Mr. Brown to give the subdivision report.
Which one, Mr. Chairman?
Oh,
Mr. Chairman, subdivision committee met over at City Hall at 6:30. The only thing on the agenda was the Northwoods Estates PUD subdivision, preliminary subdivision. This is just the preliminary subdivision approval, not the PUD, which is tonight's meeting and the meeting on October the 5th. The committee discussed each of the items on the punch list that's in the packet, number 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Each of those were approved, namely number 5, which allows the subdivision to have 10-foot travel lanes with 5-foot bike lanes and lift sidewalks. That was approved. Item number 6 required the subdivision to have a 50-foot right-of-way for a future road expansion, but not require the road be built. That was approved. Items number 7, which is also tied into that 50-foot easement. Item number 9, which was the city engineer approving the proposed connection of the street coming out of the subdivision to Highway 25 because it's at a 75-degree angle. Item number 10 and 11 were related to the block length, which didn't apply in this subdivision because it's going to be a gated community with cul-de-sacs. And finally, number 12 was the tail end of the allowing the bike lanes in lieu of sidewalks, because again, this is going to be a subdivision with open ditches and no sidewalks or anything like that. All items passed unanimously, and the subdivision, the proposed subdivision passed unanimously, subject to the approved punch list.
thank you. So, with that, are there any questions for Mr. Brown on the subdivision? I think everybody was in there except for Marilyn and and Justin, any questions?
I do not.
So do we have a motion to,
Make a motion to approve.
motion by
subject to-
Marilyn? I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, 6-0. All right, at this time, we will move on to the public hearing portion of this evening's meeting. So let everyone know how the flow of the meeting will go. The first person, when you come up to podium, please state your name and address. The first person to speak for a proposal will have 10 minutes. Subsequent speakers will have 2 minutes each to speak in favor for a proposal. Once everyone has spoken in favor of a proposal, we will then allow opposition to come up and speak. The first person will have 10 minutes to speak in opposition for a proposal. Subsequent speakers will have 2 minutes also. Once everyone has spoken for and in opposition for a proposal, we will bring it into committee for discussions. We may ask someone to come back for clarification, but at that point, once we have finished discussing it, we will then vote. All right? Keep in mind that everything has to be proposed in the positive, so that even if we are against something, it will be proposed as, I make a motion to approve. Please come on in. And then everyone will have the opportunity to vote it up or down. Okay? Let's be respectful to everyone that comes up to speak. Should we give her a round of applause?
No.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming in. There you go. All right. With that said, with those speaking in favor of the Northwoods Estates rezoning from A1 to R1 to PUD, please come up.
Mr. Chairman, do you want to go over the public comments in the October 5th meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm about to talk about that. So, due to an oversight in printing in the paper, we will not be voting on this today. We will allow public comments, and then on October 5th, we're going to have an additional public hearing where we will vote on this proposal and the CBC rezoning R2A to S1. We will not vote on those two today. We will take public comment, special hearing on October 5th, once again to receive more public comment, and we will vote at that time. Okay? Thank you.
All right.
Sir, your name and address, please. You will have 10 minutes. You got it? Go right ahead.
I don't think I'm going to need 10 minutes, but my name's Tim Tyler, and I'm with the Tyler Group, 240 Skyline Drive here in Conway. And I'm here representing the developers, the Hawks Family Trust. They are wanting to, they bought a piece of property up here north of Conway, just west of Falcon Crest, and and east of Highway 25. And they're asking to be able to rezone this from agricultural and R1, part of it's R1, part of it's agricultural, to PUD, so they can do a planned unit development. They do want it to be a gated community, and to be able to be a gated community, it has to be zoned in PUD form. And we're asking for that to be allowed when it does come October 5th. I know tonight's just a comment section, and we'll actually be back again on October 5th. But we'd like y'all for your consideration. Thank you very much.
Anyone else here to speak in favor of this proposal? All right, seeing overwhelming response to that one, I will ask anyone here to speak in opposition of this proposal.
I really don't want to speak in opposition, but I'd like to ask a couple of questions.
Please.
Okay.
Name and address, sir.
My name is Mark Benton, and I live at 3285 Vineyard, which backs up to this subdivision. My only question, I didn't understand your vote. Your vote, that first vote was just to approve to bring this in as a subdivision. So you approve that, so the next thing is just to approve it as a PUD, right?
The rezoning, yes, sir.
Okay, so there's two rezonings going on. Is that
Sir.
what you're saying?
So,
I mean, I think you took the part of the land and put it in as R1, and now you're taking both R1s and putting it in as a PUD?
no, sir. So the first vote we took was simply to approve it as a subdivision.
Okay,
The vote that will happen on October 5th will be to rezone it from A1 and R1 to a PUD.
okay, all right. Well, my only question was, I didn't understand, is what did y'all say? So that's what I don't think y'all said. There's a 50-foot wide access pedestrian access shown here. Is that, are we talking about that right now?
That was approved. That was
That's
approved.
approved.
Mr. Brown, do you
Okay.
want to?
That's all I got.
Oh.
I think it's a great subdivision, and so I'm for, but I just had to ask that question, so. Yeah, I understand. So anyway, that was it, so don't
Okay.
put me down as an againer, I'm a for, so.
All right. Anyone else here to speak in opposition of this proposal? Okay. Of discussion there. So seeing none, I just want to remind everyone, October 5th is when we will be voting on this. Please come out if you have additional comments at that time. All right? Thank you. All right, thank you.
Do we have to officially table it?
Do we officially say? Okay.
Mr.
All right.
Chairman, I make a motion to table this item until our October 5th meeting.
I second it. Yeah, and vote. Yeah, I can do it all today because I can do it all. I can do it all today. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right. 7-0. All right. Our next one is the CBC rezoning, R2A to S1. Speaking in favor of this proposal, please come up, name and address again, and remember, we will just take public comments. We will not vote on this today either.
Yes, sir. Again, my name's Tim Tyler. I'm with the Tyler Group, 240 Skyline Drive here in Conway. And I'm here representing CBC on this proposed rezoning. They bought a block of land except for a few small pieces that they've acquired, and they've been actually acquiring land through the years. And because they are a university, they have set aside through Conway, this special rezoning or special zoning called S1. So they're mainly coming to you for that very reason, because they are a university. This is designed for a university, being S1, and they're looking to develop the land in the near future. So that's with your hopefully approval on October 5th. This is what we'd like to see if it's all possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else to speak in favor of this proposal? All right. Same comment applies as last time. Anyone here to speak in opposition to this proposal?
Motion to,
Let's bring it in the committee. Go ahead. Go ahead. You were making a motion?
I was just going to make the motion to table the vote till October 5th.
All right. Motion by Marilyn.
Seconded.
All right. Second by Justin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Duly tabled. Thank you. All right. Next is Osborne rezoning A1 to R1. Someone come up to speak in favor. Name and address, sir.
My name's Jesse Thompson, and my office is 1416 Prince Street. I've assisted Mr. Osborne with this rezoning. It's fairly straightforward. This property's always been A1. There is a structure on it. He intends to, when this rezoning goes through, do a lot split and put another structure on the other lot. And I don't think there's any problems under the zoning ordinance with what his proposal is, and no non-conforming uses or anything of that nature. So I don't believe it's problematic, let me put it that way.
Thank you.
That's all.
All right.
Thank you.
Anyone else here to speak in favor of this proposal? All right. Anyone here to speak in opposition to this proposal? Bring it into committee for discussion. We are a lively group today. This is, all right.
I need to come to a different meeting to see what
Yeah. All right. Commissioners?
Chairman, I think this one is a no-brainer, and I'd make a motion to approve.
All right. Motion by Matthew, second by Ann. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? 7-0.
Moving on.
Wow, we are,
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We are on a roll. Next, Shelby annexation. Do we?
I thought we had an annexation committee prior to that, I wasn't sure. that
No,
we did.
no,
We have a
We
committee,
do.
we didn't meet. We do have
yeah,
a
they
committee.
didn't, yeah,
That's what I'm saying, I thought we had a meeting.
yeah,
because
we
did
didn't
annexation
discuss that.
thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
We didn't have a-
Here to speak in favor of the annexation. Go right ahead.
Of the Tyler Group.
Name and address.
My name's Tim Tyler with the Tyler Group, 240 Skyline Drive here in Conway. And the proposed annexation, the Shelby annexation, what they're doing is they got a larger piece of property, but their house that they live in, the well went bad. And they don't have any water system, so they went to Conway Corporation to get water system or get hooked up with water. But because Conway Corporation will not hook up outside the city, now they went ahead and hooked them up because they had to have water with the understanding that they would get annexed into the city, so it would take care of the law, I guess you might say, of what Conway Corporation deals with the city and their cooperation back and forth. It has to be annexed into the city. So that's the reason, instead of annexing the part of their property to the north, or along the creek to the north, if you're familiar where it's at, is already annexed in, but they didn't want to annex the rest of their property in, just where the house is and what it would take to be come in as A1. And so they're doing this so they can be congruent with what the wishes of Conway Corporation is and the city.
And Conway Corporation's already took their water out?
Yes, they've already made a tap for them because they didn't want them. They didn't want them to be without water. They didn't have any water, so so they did say that they would do it, and Conway Corporation was gracious enough to go ahead and help them out and get them. So we started the process, and we're kind of going through it at this time.
All right, thanks.
Now, if y'all vote it down, we may have to cut them off tomorrow. I'm not sure, but
right.
at least wait till after October 5th. But no, I think it is congruent, and it is they're not annexed, or they're not surrounded by city because they're not an island, but they do have city on the south side. They do have city on the north side. So, and on the Verco Manufacturing, which is in the city, is just right across the road from them on Sturgis Road. So they've been in the community a long time.
You made a comment that they only want to annex this portion of their land, but not the rest of their land tract.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they only want to annex one portion of the land?
One word,
Taxes?
taxes.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else here to speak in favor of this proposal? Anyone here to speak in opposition to this proposal? Oh, come on, somebody. All right. Let's bring this into committee now. Commissioners.
So based upon my question, I do have an issue with them wanting to annex one portion of their land in order to get public utilities and not the rest of their land so they don't have to pay more taxes, or the Faulkner County and City of Conway taxes for the rest of the purposes of their land. It looks like they're wanting to have their cake and eat it too, and I'm not sure I'm necessarily inclined.
Could I
Sure, come on.
need to address that?
Yeah.
Come on back up.
They're not necessarily opposed to annexing the rest of their property, but she's an elderly lady on fixed income.
Sure.
And there's quite a bit of property already to the north that they do have annexed. Clearly, if this property is ever developed, and will be one of these days, it will be annexed at that time. She did not desire for her well to go bad.
Sure.
You know, and she was perfectly content being, it is farmland. They've been there for a very long time. She's just doing what Conway Corporation asked her to do. Really, she doesn't want her house to be annexed into the city, but because of the requirement, this is what she's trying to do what's right.
You know how much more land we're talking about?
I think they got about 30 more acres, something like that.
Yeah, if you're driving down the Sturgis Road, I mean, you can see the agricultural portion out there.
And it's just approximate, because I did not come prepared to answer that, but it's approximate. It's a pretty good, they own from Sturgis Road all the way to the railroad track. And it is prime property. I doubt very seriously it will ever be residential land.
No.
It's more like to be commercial type land. But one of these days it will happen. Not sure, but anyway. Hopefully that answered part of your question.
Thank you.
City limits, I have a bigger problem with it, but it's right on.
Yeah, I don't either. I make a motion that we approve the Shelby annexation and assignment of A1 zoning classification. Second by Ann. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Passes 6-1.
Thank y'all very much.
All right, thank you. Is he related to Kim?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
I guess y'all don't have, there's nothing else for us, I don't think, tonight, is
I don't know what else you have for us. Let's go.
Yeah.
there? You know, we can sit up here and talk some more if you want.
I mean,
Sure, y'all ready to go separate.
you're welcome to stay if you can find a seat.
I've warmed this one up already.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thank y'all very much.
All right, let's move on to the last portion of business here, which is the 2016 Planning Commission nomination schedule. Brian, is this something you want to come up and talk through, or?
Just that time of year again, we advertise through the month of October for new planning commission members. I guess we kind of need some direction
Right.
on whether we're advertising for 2 or 3 members. I know Ms. Tucker, unless she's changed her mind in the last few days, would like to re-up again and possibly take over Stan's term, which is perfectly fine. That's allowed by the bylaws and the Blue Ribbon Commission standards, all that stuff. So that would be fine if y'all want to entertain that. And I mean, you don't have to move on that now because, you know, January is when we really start changing and adding new members and all that. But we have to advertise for the next month. So we need to know whether we're advertising for 2 or 3. It's better if we know that anyway.
I'm going for a record at finishing people's terms. That's all I can say.
Okay.
So
you're
you don't
good.
want the full term, you just want Stan's remaining 2 years?
I don't care.
That's 10 years.
Finishing out
That's
Stan's
10
would give me
years.
6 years, and my son's graduated at that point. I think I'll probably be done.
Okay.
I'd do the 5 years, but I don't know where he's going to school, and I might not be here. I might buy a house wherever he goes to school, much to his chagrin. So, I'm good with finishing out his term.
Plus, if you do the 10 years, you couldn't come back on for 10 years. Right? Isn't that the
I've
way that
never
goes?
I've never served a term of my own. All
You
I've
did-
done
you're-
is finished out other people's terms.
Well, you did the first 3 year, and then we
I was finishing out 2 years, and then I
Right.
took Tony's.
Yeah, you took Tony's spot for the rest of those, which he
and
was with
that's
me.
the end of this year.
Yeah.
So technically, that's 4 years. So I could finish out Stan's and have
Yeah,
6.
that's true.
And then I'm pretty sure I'd be done at that point, unless
Okay.
somebody else leaves and I've got 2 more.
You never know.
Stay on it the rest of your life, theoretically.
Right,
Just keep
right.
Lifelong member.
Yeah. You could just ride out on a high note with me, right? I mean, we could have been the coolest pair to go out in December. Now, so are you good with Stan's term, or do you want to go for the 5?
I think I'm good with Stan's term.
Okay. So do we need to vote that in, or are we just good?
I don't think so, because, I mean, it's a procedural matter of the commission, whatever. But noted, we will just advertise for 2 new 5-term members then. I assume that's where we're going to go with it, but that's what we'll continue to advertise. We've already kind of started that, but.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're on TV tonight, I think, so we're looking for 2 new planning commission members for 2 5-year terms. So anybody interested, nomination forms are posted online, conwayplanning.org. They're there. So that was and then I guess the other thing we need to look at, Stan is leaving. I thought he was going to be here tonight, but I guess he didn't.
Yeah, I don't think he
want to make it
going to
tonight.
make it. Yeah.
But I thought I might have heard somebody's name mentioned earlier, but our subdivision committee now doesn't have a captain anymore, so we'll need a new chairman of the subdivision committee meeting, at least for the next couple of months, and you could reevaluate in January if you like, whatever.
So do we have to vote on that?
Sure.
All right, so I'll make a motion that Matthew Brown becomes the chairman of the subdivision committee. And then with that also, I will join the subdivision committee to become the 5th person.
Very good.
All right, Wendy seconds it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Matthew is now chairman of the subdivision committee.
Yeah, I guess another thing is Stan was on
The conditional use committee.
Also, that's the only other one, right? So I guess we might need someone, hasn't met in a very long time, but you never know, next couple months may be a winner, so.
You're good with that?
Since I've been on here.
So, and you're already on.
You're already on there.
Am I?
Yeah, you are. So, Marilyn, do you think you could take that one for the next couple months?
I sure am.
Well, I'm on 2 already.
I know. I just need you for a couple months.
Okay.
All right. So, I make a motion that we add Marilyn Armstrong to the conditional use committee. Wendy seconds it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Great. Okay.
I believe that's all housekeeping chores tonight.
Do we need to go ahead and do committees or do we need to wait till October to do that?
Should we talk about who's going to lead it? Couldn't hurt.
Talk about it now if you like, and typically folks just wait
We got a few minutes. I mean, is everybody okay?
How many years have you been on this?
I'll be starting my 3rd year in January.
Do you want to head up that side of the table? That side of the room?
Okay.
For interviews?
And I vote that we make Jerry do this side.
So what do you mean when you say that?
Well,
So we usually split up.
somebody has to be in charge of gathering up all the things, and we usually do it in 2 committees. I'm assuming, I guess it really just depends on how many nominations we have.
Yeah, which we always have a
We
ton.
have always had.
We always had a ton. So I agree with that. So, Marilyn, are you okay taking that? So that would mean that Matthew, Marilyn, Brian Quinn, and Mr. Mark Lewis would be one team.
Yep.
Led by Marilyn, and I think we should put Justin in charge of it.
Oh, okay.
That's my opinion. So
I was
Justin,
just gonna do it 'cause Jerry wasn't here.
yeah, no, Justin, Jerry, Wendy, and Ann be the other team to interview.
Do you have time to do that? You know, it's just calling them, and as you know,
Yeah, you got me last year.
I did get
Okay.
you kind of.
All right.
But
No, you're fine. Yeah.
All
I'll
right,
do
so
it.
then headed by Justin. So I think that's what we'll move forward doing. Excellent. And I don't get to vote.
But you can advise and consent.
I'm willing to advise. If you guys want me to sit in on them, I'm fine with that. Do you want me to sit in on them? All right, Justin, I'll be on this team. Good with that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So,
And do your thing.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, there being no further business, I make a motion to.
I second.
I get 2 more years.
yes, you do. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Excellent. Great meeting, guys. Thank you.
Are they usually that fast? No, I don't think so. Well, I'll be back October 5th because I'm actually here because of the
2025 stuff. But I figured I was here, I might as well listen